Hello friends, this video on how do organisms reproduce part 17 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So let us first talk about the human male reproductive system. So as I said, in case of human beings, the reproductive system for male and female, structure wise they are totally different. They have got completely different structures. So let us first talk about the structure of the human male reproductive system. So here is a picture which shows the reproductive system in male. So this is a side view. So let us look at the different structures here. We have testis. So testis forms the main organ in the male reproductive system. So this is the testis. Then the next one is vas deferens. Vas deferens is this tube-like structure which you see here. So this is the vas deferens. Next is scrotum. Scrotum is the structure which actually contains testis. So here you can see that there is this pouch-like structure which actually holds the testis. So this pouch-like structure is the scrotum. And testes are those organs which produce the male sex cells. As I said, the male germ cells or the male gametes. So the testis is the actual area where the male gametes are produced. Now testis occurs in pairs in human males. There are two testes, one on this side. As I said, this is the side view. So one is on this side and the other one is on the other side. Vas deferens is a tube which is connected to the testis. Then is urethra. Urethra is this tube. So if you see this vas deferens tube, this travels from here and then it joins with this tube. What is this? The organ? This is the urinary bladder. We have spoken about the urinary bladder in the excretory system. So from urinary bladder there is a tube called urethra through which the urine passes outside, right? So this tube vas deferens also joins with this urethra here. So at this point you see this is urethra from urinary bladder and this is vas deferens. So vas deferens joins with urethra and they become one tube. Then there is epididymis. Epididymis is this structure which is present near the testis. This is called epididymis. So if you see from the testis, initially it is a thicker coiled tube-like structure. So it basically consists of coiled tube inside this structure. So this is epididymis, and from the lower part of the epididymis starts this thin tube-like structure which is called vas deferens. And then the penis. So this structure which you see here, the external structure, this is the penis. So roughly these are the main structures which form the human male reproductive system. Now other than these, there are certain glands which are also involved, which also perform a role in the male reproductive system. So what are these glands? The prostrate gland. So here you can see this is the prostrate gland. There are seminal vesicles. This is the seminal vesicle. And the Cowper's gland. So this is the Cowper's gland. So these are the three glands which also play a role in the reproductive system of male. Now what are their functions that we will discuss in the next slide. So for now you got an understanding of the structure of human male reproductive system. So these are the main organs which together form the reproductive system in male. So let us try to understand the function of each and every part of this system. So let us start with testes, which is the most important organ, or which plays the most vital role in the reproductive system, because they are the ones who will actually produce the male sex cells. And for sexual reproduction, you need a male sex cell and a female sex cell which will fuse together to form the new organism. So testis produces the male sex cells. Now as I said before also, testes occur in pairs. They produce sperms. What are sperms? Sperms are nothing but the male sex cells or the male germ cells or the male gametes. So sperm is the name for the male sex cells. So testes produce sperms. It also produces the male hormone called testosterone. Are you familiar with the name testosterone? While we were talking about the endocrine system, we were talking about the different glands in the body, you remember? So there we talked about testis also. The testis produces this hormone which is responsible for growth and development of all the primary and secondary sexual characters in male. Just now I told, right, the enlargement of the penis or the development of hair on the underarms and in the genital area or the development of facial hair. These are some of the secondary sexual characters. Now these characters develop because of this hormone, testosterone. So this hormone is also produced by testes. Now testes occur in pairs, that means there are two testes present in a human male, one on each side of the penis. Right? Now this testis, so from where actually the sperms are produced, what is there inside the testis that produces the sperms? Actually testis consists of many coiled tube-like structures which are lined by cells of epithelium. We have already spoken about tissues, right, in class 9th. So we saw that there is a characteristic of epithelial tissue that they can be secretive in nature, they can secrete things. So these coiled tubules which form the testis, they are lined by cells of epithelium which divide and form the sperms. So that means the testes are made of these kind of coiled tubules, and these tubules are lined with epithelium. Those epithelium will divide to form the sperms. So that is how sperms are produced inside the testis. Right? So let us look at the next part, that is scrotum. So scrotum is nothing but an extension of abdominal cavity containing the testis. So just to carry testis, this scrotum is present. Its purpose is only to hold the testis. Now the question is, why do we need an organ separately outside the abdomen to hold the testis? Why can't the testis be present inside the abdomen itself? Why do we need an organ separately for holding the testis? That's because inside the testis, sperms are produced. Now in order for the production of sperms, the temperature that is needed is lower than the body temperature. Now, if the testis would have been present inside the abdomen, the temperature would be the same as the body temperature. Now, high temperature is not at all suitable for production of sperms. So, production of sperms needs a lower temperature. And in order to maintain a temperature lower than the body temperature, an external cavity is made outside the body. That is why the scrotum forms an external cavity outside the abdominal cavity just to hold the testis, so that the appropriate lower temperature can be maintained inside the testis and sperms can be produced there. And also it protects the testis, because any covering will definitely protect the organs which are present inside it. So scrotum serves two functions. One is it protects the testis. Second is it maintains a temperature lower than the body temperature, which is suitable for the production of sperms. Third is epididymis. Which structure was epididymis? If you look at the picture, this is the testis. So this is testis, and this structure is epididymis. Right? So it is a complex tube-like structure in scrotum. So and everything lies inside this scrotum. This U-shaped structure is the scrotum. So it is a complex tube-like structure. So here it is looking as a simple tube-like structure, but actually it is made up of coiled tubules like this. So it is a coiled tube-like structure. It stores sperms, helps in passage of sperms. Now the sperms are produced inside the testis. Now these sperms will be passed to the epididymis, and the epididymis will actually store the sperms. So it actually helps in the passage of sperms from testis to the outside. Right? So now here also, as I mentioned in one of the previous slides, that the sperm, that is the male germ cell, is motile. That means it is capable of moving. But the female germ cell, which is the egg cell, that is not motile, that is not capable of moving much. So now, in order that the fusion takes place between the male sex cell and the female sex cell, who will have to travel? The male sex cell will have to travel. That means the sperm will have to travel. So that is what will happen. The sperm is being produced in the testis. Here, the sperm is getting produced. But the sperm will have to travel from testis till the place where the female sex cell is there. Right? So basically the sperm will have to come out of the body of the human male and it will have to enter the body of the human female. So this transfer actually happens when two people have sex. That is the transfer of sperms from the male body to the female body. That is what that actually happens. So this epididymis is the first step through which the sperms passes out of the testis. The next one is vas deferens, that is this tube-like structure. This is the vas deferens. It is a tube-like structure emerging from lower part of epididymis. It opens to the ejaculatory duct. So this is the tube which actually helps in carrying the sperm. So if you look at this tube, it goes and it opens to the ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory means? Ejaculatory word comes from the term ejaculation. That means giving out something. So there is a duct. This duct is known as ejaculatory duct. So I will talk about the ejaculatory duct in detail. So it actually is the tube which will keep on going and it will connect with the urethra and the urethra will open to the outside. Right? So the vas deferens is the tube which actually carry the sperm from the testis to the outside. Next is penis. So penis is a muscular copulatory organ. So it is a muscular organ made up of muscles. Copulatory organ. What do you mean by copulatory organ? That means the organ with which two bodies or two organisms get connected. As I said, in order that fusion between the sperm and the female sex cell takes place, it is necessary that sperm reaches the female sex cell. For that, the sperm will have to travel from the body of the human male to the body of the female. So that transfer will take place through an organ and that organ is called penis. So penis will actually connect the body of a human male to the body of a human female, and through this penis the sperms will get transferred from the body of the male to the body of the female. So penis is a copulatory organ. That means an organ which helps in copulation, which helps two organisms in mating. That is called a copulatory organ, which joins two objects, which couples two things. That is called a copulatory organ. So what is the main function of the penis? It discharges the sperms when stimulated. Now normally the penis is not activated. Normally it is like a loose structure, but actually it is made up of some loose muscles. So when the penis gets stimulated, the tissues of the penis get filled with blood. Now when all the tissues inside the penis gets filled with blood, the penis becomes erect and firm. Now when it becomes firm and erect, what happens? The sperm which is present inside the penis, that means the sperm which is present inside the urethra, it gets ejaculated. So that is the main function of the penis. Now if you look at the diagram here, you can see it even more clearly. So this is the penis. This is the penis. Now when it becomes firm and erect, then the sperms which are present in this tube, urethra, it will be ejected out. Right? So that's the main function of penis. Next is urethra. What is urethra? It is the tube-like structure. It is a common passage for both sperms and urine. Actually, it originates from the urinary bladder. So if you see, this is the urethra. This tube is urethra. So it originates from urinary bladder and it passes through the penis and it opens to the outside. Right? So this will carry urine which is coming from urinary bladder and it will also carry sperms which is coming from the vas deferens. Here, so these are some of the organs of the reproductive system. Other than that, I talked about some glands. So let us look at their purpose. Prostrate gland. This is the prostate gland. What does it do? It secretes a milky fluid that helps in sperm's mobility. Now the sperms which gets produced, now let us suppose so many sperms get produced here. Now these sperms will have to move. So they should be mobile. Now, in order to increase the mobility of the sperm, the prostrate gland secretes a milky fluid, a fluid which is milky in color. Now, when you have some fluid along with the sperms, this fluid will actually help in the movement. Now, as the fluid flows, it will carry the sperm along with it. So, it helps in the movement of the sperms along the tubes. Next is the seminal vesicles. What does they do? They produce a viscous fluid which help in sperm mobility in female. Now, even after the sperm has been transferred to the female body, even inside the female body, it has to move a distance to reach the egg, to reach the female sex cell. So, this viscous fluid which is secreted by the seminal vesicles, it helps in the movement of the sperm in the female body. Now, in the female body generally, right now I have not spoken about the female reproductive part, but as soon as the sperms enter the female body, the medium there is generally acidic. So the sperms enter into an acidic medium as soon as it enters the female body. But for the sperms to be alive, they need an alkaline medium. So these fluid which is secreted by the seminal vesicles, they actually help in keeping the medium alkaline, so that the sperms can remain alive even inside the female body, at least till the time it meets the female germ cell. Because if the sperm dies before it meets the female germ cell, then fertilization will not take place, right? So seminal vesicles will secrete a fluid which will help in keeping the sperm alive inside the female body, and it will also help in movement of the sperm inside the body of the female. This viscous fluid will also help in the contraction of the uterine muscles, that means the muscles of the female body. So therefore the sperm will be able to move forward. And the last one is the Cowper's gland. What will this do? It will secrete mucus to lubricate the female passage. Now, as I said, during the mating, what happens is the penis is inserted inside the female reproductive organ. Now, when I discuss about the female reproductive system, we will talk about an organ called vagina, which is the first opening of the female's body. So now this penis is inserted inside the vagina, and then the penis will secrete the sperm inside the female body. So now, in order that the penis is able to insert itself inside the vagina, it is very, very important that the passage of the vagina is well lubricated, so that the penis can get inside it. So for that lubrication, a mucus is secreted by the Cowper's gland. So this mucus will lubricate the passage of the vagina, so that the penis can easily get inside the vagina and secrete the sperm inside the female body. Right? So I hope the structure of the different parts of the reproductive system in male is clear, and you have also understood the purpose of each of them. Okay. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.